Some of you might have heard of the pop star Helen Shapiro. She was a pop star back in the day, actually in the 60s really, and her big hit was Walking Back to Happiness. She was a Jew, and she became interested in Jesus after she'd read a book called Betrayed by Stan Telchin. I know some of you have read that. When she picked up a Bible, however, when she dared to pick up a New Testament in particular, which we're reading now, she was very fearful of what she might find. She thought she might find all kinds of anti-Jewish stuff in there. But instead, she found a Jewish Messiah, Jesus. And she started in these very words that we've just read. And here's what she said about those. The thing that shook me to the core on that first reading, as she read that list of names, that genealogy, that family line, was, and she mentioned some of the names, Zerubbabel via King David to the tribe of Judah and back to Abraham, that I could relate the events to me and my culture. As a Jew, she realized that Jesus was related to her, as it were, at least in this sort of legal and biological way. And so we do see, I think, under God, how Matthew shows us clearly that Jesus was the Messiah. It's stated up front, isn't it, in the very first verse. The genealogy of Jesus the Messiah. He doesn't hold that back. He was the Messiah. And we've been looking at those ancient promises, haven't we, from Isaiah, from, I was going to say Micah, that'll be a couple of weeks' time, Samuel, and even Genesis. All of those promises that he would come, the Messiah, the special one, the promised King and Savior for his people. And what matters here is not just that those promises were fulfilled and in detail. I don't know if you remember as we looked at the betrayal of Jesus from Zechariah, how detailed the fulfillments were. 30 pieces of silver. To the potter's house, the temple was involved. Very detailed fulfillment. That was important, vitally important, but also was what's important for Jesus to qualify as the Messiah is that he is in the right line, the right family line. And here it is in Matthew, it's another version in Luke. Jesus is linked back to David and Abraham, legally and biologically.